Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Mental Shift. My name is Michelle Moras, and I am the host. Now, what is Mental Shift? Well, Mental Shift is where I bring on people that I meet from around the world, and we talk about whatever they were doing before, when they had their mental shift to do whatever they're doing today. And it always ends up that they're giving back to the world in some way, shape, or form and sharing smiles like our next guest. If you're wondering who in the world is Michelle, please look me up. Go to michellemoras.com. That's MICHELLEMRAS.com. I say that because people always spell my name wrong. It's michellemoras.com. I'm the only one, I think. So please join us. And if you like what you hear, I want you to look people up. I'm going to give you a couple of websites or tell you how to reach people, and like, share, and subscribe, whatever you can. So please welcome this amazing man. He's a pirate, yo ho ho, in a bottle of rum. This is, I want you to meet my friend, Russ Johns. And I met him on his broadcast, the Pirate broadcast. And if you want to learn more as you're hearing us and talking here, go to russjohns.com. He's the host of the Pirate broadcast, and he's the creator of the Pirate Syndicate. Please welcome Russ.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle. It's a pleasure to see you again and connect. I really appreciate the opportunity.
I appreciate the opportunity to be on your broadcast itself, because now people say, hey, fellow pirate. And I've always wanted to be a pirate.
Well, you know, it's funny because the pirate community is so, it's so kind and so generous, and a lot of people reach out, and it's great. And it's a great way to identify people that you can connect with and know that they have a mindset of what I would consider a positive attitude. You know, kindness is cool, smiles are free is what I always share. And I just love the idea that if you can share a little bit of positive information throughout your day, or, you know, give somebody a shout out or a heads up or a help up, you know, it just makes life so much easier.
It's a beautiful thing. Now I need to ask you, what is the Pirate Syndicate?
Well, as we were talking before the show, you know, there are a lot of people that have a lot of gifts, and, you know, everybody has a gift, and not every gift is technology and the ability and opportunity to create technology. So much like the Pirate broadcast, I have created the Pirate Syndicate for those individuals that want to broadcast and they're not really sure how to deal with all the technology, all the production, the show, the events, invitations, you know, notifications, the social media promotion, all of that stuff. So what I did was I created the Pirate Syndicate to assist business owners and individuals the opportunity to broadcast, where we do all the work and they just show up.
That's fantastic. Where were you when I started this a year ago? I
was right here. Yeah.
No.
And it's a, you know, for years I have been promoting this idea. I used to teach classes when I lived in Houston, and the opportunity to actually get out and promote the idea that you are the media. You have a gift, you know, whether it's words, images, audio, or video, whatever you decide and choose you want to do, whatever you want to do in that arena, you now have the opportunity to do that. And that's kind of the seed of the Pirate broadcast and the Pirate Syndicate, is this idea that everyone has a gift that they can share, and making it easier and helping people get out there and share their gifts is what I really passionate about.
I know, that's why we click so well. Now I want to ask, I have to say one other thing. I dressed for you today.
You did.
I've got my pirate sleeves on.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
I had to get in the zone of piratism. Now,
yes.
What were you doing before? Because what did you do before that evolved into this, you know, realizing that smiles are free and kindness is cool and that everyone has a gift? What happened to you that made you say, you know what, it's time to step up and broadcast this so I can find my people? What brought you to this?
Well, With many people, it's a challenge that happens in your life that creates and endorses and supports change. And I had been working for a company um, that had that was based out of Houston. I was living in Seattle. I had two boys, and I lived in Seattle. And they said, "Hey, we want to promote you. We want you to be at the corporate office and manage all the operations and things like that." It was a national company, and so I relocated there. And within 6 months, they had an interim CEO that came in. You know, it was 2010. You know, the economy wasn't that great. You know, things were challenging, and so it was a tough time. And all of a sudden, this new CEO decided to change directions, and my position was eliminated. So all of a sudden, I'm, I'm, you know, I've been in Seattle and the Northwest for most of my adult life, and all of a sudden, I'm in Houston, which is an amazing city to be in. And all of a sudden, I have no network, I have no job, I just moved. My boys had followed me down there, so they're here. Here, the three of us are hanging out, going, "Okay, what are we going to do now?" So rather than be a victim, I just decided, hey, I'm going to start my own thing. And I'd been doing web development, marketing, and media. I've been in advertising since '85. So, you know, I just picked up what I could and started to create and started networking and started building communities and started, you know, building relationships in Houston. And from then on out, I haven't looked back. So, uh, you know, that's part of the whole process of developing this kindness is cool, smiles are free, because you know we don't know who is in pain, we don't know what people have gone through. You know, then I was in Harvey, Hurricane Harvey, and you know all the devastation that took place on there. And then after that, I lost a son, my oldest son, to suicide.
Oh no.
And so, you know, like I said, if you could just plant one seed for somebody that makes a difference in their day, you're putting something out good. So it just, all of these things, all of these events compound to know that, you know, let's just share some quality kindness with people and be authentic in our delivery and make sure that people understand that people do care. It's not doom and gloom, and it's not what the media says it is. It's really people care about people. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you are. And we've had those conversations. And you know, it's we have to stick up for each other and support each other. So that's my mission, and my outcome from that is that the Pirate Syndicate allows more people to do work and share their gifts with more people. So that's 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 my story of change and challenge and conviction.
Thank you for sharing. And I'm so sorry for the loss of your son. And my thought is, like you said, you can't stay in the wallow. You can't stay down there. You have to find a lesson and pull it out and do something with it. I mean, every person I've ever had on this podcast on MentalShift has
Mm-hmm.
had something rather tragic happen in their past, from you know, from one level to the other. I mean, it can be from, you know, I lost my favorite dog, and all the way up to, you know, my spouse, or
Yeah.
I'm stage 4, or you know, any of that kind of. It's just it's perspective, and it's all relative. But pain is pain, and how you
Pain is
grow
pain.
from that pain is where you can find that magic of whatever your calling is. Because you lost your job, you started this, and you've got the syndicate where you're helping other people, you know, make a new platform, which I see is huge right now, because there's so many people in corporate America doing, do I really want to go back in that cubicle? I'd really like to be doing this forever, you know, that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
so you are a perfect place to go in order to get their word out, basically. And then
Yeah.
the loss of your son, you learn that saying hello to anyone, I mean, you never know what pain other people are in, that to give
Yeah.
them that smile can give them hope. I mean, I was just on another call, on another podcast earlier, and I was telling the woman, she asked me my backstory. And I said, well, a little bit of it is, she asked me, how do I sing? How did I learn I could sing? And I said, honestly, I didn't know I could. And she says, what happened? And I said, well, I was singing down the hall one day, and the teacher pulled me aside and said, who are you and why aren't you in my choir? It was something that simple, because I love to sing, but I was told I couldn't sing. So therefore I didn't sing unless I thought no one was listening. And so this guy changed the trajectory, because he's the one who told me I had perfect pitch, and that it's something that simple. Okay. I was
Yeah.
a kid with a lot of problems. I had a lot of inner demons in me. And by telling me I was good at something, it lit me up. It lit me up to say, okay, I might be crappy at everything else, but I'm really good at this because this one person says it. And so I believed in his belief in me. And someone out there that you're walking down the street, and I know with the mask on and stuff, it's really hard to smile. Paint a smile on if you have to, okay? But
Yeah.
smile with your eyes, because
Yeah.
someone, especially right now, needs hope. And that's where I think people like Russ Johns here and I on our podcast, we're the free speaking human race. I mean, we're out there and we can reach places that no one else can. And we can give that positivity out without saying, well, I wonder how our ratings are today. You know, we are the honest feedback out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was so excited to run into you, Russ. Smiles are free.
Well, and you know, it goes both directions, because you, much like all of the pirates that I bring to the table, it's really a theme of interesting people doing interesting things. And you're one of these fascinating individuals that more people need to know about. And if I can highlight and shine the light on you and share your light and your gift, what it does is allows more people the opportunity to understand that there are people out there that care. You know, there are people out there that actually are making meaningful, impactful, you know, influences for other people. You know, I was on a pirate broadcast earlier, and we were talking about leadership. And leadership has nothing to do with your title. It has to do with the impact you make on people's lives, and setting an example, and moving forward with, you know, the things you're in, you know, that are around you, the things that you can do, you have control over. And then you can actually influence more people in thinking that they can do it too. Much like the teacher said, why are you not in my choir? A kind word can make a difference between somebody's surviving the day and thriving in the day. And I truly believe this. And so people like ourselves that are out there sharing a little bit of happiness and a kindness and generosity is not necessarily the worst thing that can happen in the world.
Not at all. And you're such a great connector. I've met so many amazing people who are pirates. And it's just wonderful to have a community like that. So whenever you come on, I always pop on just a smiley face or just see who you are, because I'm usually driving about the time your broadcast comes on.
Ah,
And so it's like, oh, I'm missing it again. Oh, so it's like click, click,
yeah.
click. But the pirate broadcast, everyone, I ran into Russ on LinkedIn. He was live on LinkedIn. So look him up, go to russjohns.com or go on LinkedIn and, you know, look for him, because he pops
Yeah.
up every morning. You're every morning, aren't you?
If you type in hashtag pirate broadcast,
It will always come up.
it'll always come up.
I learned something new today.
Yeah. All you have to do is
I
do a
did
Google
hashtag it though. I just didn't realize.
hashtag pirate broadcast. And you know, the funny thing about it, Michelle, is the idea that we can actually be found by a hashtag is kind of unique. You know, a lot of people don't think about that. However, you could just be known for anything. And it, you know, kindness is cool, smiles are free is another one. It's not a famous hashtag. It's not, really popular. However, it is another way to be found. So as a tip, if you own your hashtag and you start utilizing it everywhere you go, and then you share it wherever you go, people can have another way to find you.
I hashtag Michelle Moras everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And MentalShift everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But I didn't know what they did. I just did them.
Yeah. Well, and you can search on them, so you can be found.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome to know. I've been doing it not knowing that I did it right.
You've been adding value to the world you didn't even know about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just fun. Okay, so now I learned something new. I'll keep hashtagging even on TikTok, dang it. I joined
Yeah.
TikTok. I joined the dark world of TikTok. But I want to sing, and in my normal platform, singing doesn't really fit. But on TikTok, for 60 seconds, I can do a bit of a song from
Yes.
one of my oldies but goodies. I like Natalie Cole and things like that, and show tunes. And then I can tag on an inspirational thought about it. And so that's what I've been doing, little
That's
bits of
perfect.
positivity, because there's
That's
a lot
perfect.
of young kids on TikTok who are beating themselves up for no reason. And I figured smiles are free.
Yeah. Just share the love wherever you can find it, and it does. Here's the thing about it. You can't run out of abundance when you're talking about kindness, right?
True.
I mean, it's like,
No,
okay,
I'm glad you have
if I give it away and two of us are happy, there's no downside. Just keep giving it away.
well, and the thing is it domino effects.
Yeah.
And that's what's so amazing about smiles and kindness. They domino.
Yeah.
You can't be nice to someone and that person experience that love and that giving, and they turn around and be mean to the next person. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so, if you can pass one smile, you've got it. And so even with the mask, I'll do something with the mask that they
Yeah.
know I'm, one, smiling at them, and two, oh my goodness, I love the color of your hair. I mean,
Anything.
anything to make sure that
Yeah.
I leave everyone that sees me with a smile or a happy thought or something.
And I
Because
think another thing that we need to think about, especially in these times right now, is patience.
mm,
Have a little patience and empathy. It's really important for us to be, kind to each other and kind to ourselves. And just, there's so many stresses that we have and so much noise and so many things that are going on that we just need to have a little bit of patience and understand that, you know, all things are temporary. Live in the moment, find the joy, and make sure that you're understanding what it is that brings you joy, and then work on that. You don't have to work on everything. Just work on finding something that you can really appreciate. Like you're saying, right now we're living in a time where a lot of people are thinking, well, wow, do I need that office? Do I need to travel in traffic all day to get to the office? Do I need to spend another 2 hours on the road or whatever it takes to get to the office? Do I need to go across town for a meeting when I can fire up a Zoom session? These are things that people are really reflecting on because they haven't had the experience in the past.
mhm.
And now that they've had that experience, uh, you know, there are options. So we do have to make some choices, and it'll be interesting to me to see what the next 18 months, 2 years look like, and how it evolves, and how the workforce and how people evolve in their decisions on whether to go to an office or work from home or, you know, find a combination of efforts that way.
Well, I was talking to someone about it the other day about, the world is at a juxtaposition. We need to make decisions. Either we're going to turn into, have you seen the movie Wall-E, the cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay, I see either we're going to turn into Wall-E, where we're all going to be motorized cars and we're just going to get enormous because they never move. We just let other things happen. Or we're going to come together and
Yeah.
become stronger and better people. And I think it's the latter, personally. It may not seem like it right now, but it's always darkest before the dawn. We can give a whole bunch of these kind of quotes, but
Right.
like when COVID hit, people were losing their minds about being locked in their houses. And I said, as a coach, why do you not like being alone?
Yeah.
If there's something about you that you don't like, you need to address it instead of hiding about all the noise and toys. So I did an article for Denver Luxury Magazine called
Uh-huh.
Noise and Toys.
Mm.
It's the end of us. We need to learn to stop putting all that noise out so we can distract ourselves from all of our pain and reflect and find out, what is it? Because if you can't be alone with yourself, then you're living a fake life on the outside. So find it, get help, talk to someone, just work through it. So you can do, you know what? I'm good. I
Yeah.
like being alone. I like being able to have my own space, because at that point you can create who you are. I know, Russ, with you, when you went through all the stuff you were going through, you got very introspective and went, okay, now where am I going?
Yeah.
And what's happening with the world right now, as I said, everyone's in that position. Everyone had to sit back and do I like the direction of my life right now? And you
Yeah.
all have the ability right now to shift. I know it's scary because shifting is scary, but we're universally all doing it now. Even your show has shifted. My show has shifted. My life has shifted. Your life has shifted.
Absolutely. And here's the thing is, we don't have to do it all at once. If you make daily progress on a direction and an intention that you feel is important in your life, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to start. And you just have to begin with change. Little incremental changes can make a huge difference if you look back, a year from now. And those incremental changes will kind of define who you become, because whether it's learning a new skill or improving the skills you have, or being a little more gentle and kind to the people around you, a little more understanding and appreciative of those that are in your circle of friends and family, all of these little incremental things that you can add to and enhance your life, they resonate. And it's like ripples in the pond. All of these things make an impact to those that are around you and around the people that are around them. And it's just like, it doesn't have to be noisy and nasty. It can be much different if we all work together. And it's like, okay, I know it's not all unicorns and rainbows.
Oh, come on.
However, incremental change in making improvements on a daily basis can make a huge difference in your life. So,
And I'm going to tag on that. And I sound like I'm talking about myself again, but I am at this point, because you just said something that I like to preach about.
mhm.
Is be kind to others, but be kind to yourself first. It's that whole ripple effect. You start the kindness with you, and that smile comes from within you and just kind of goes through. And
Yeah.
those incremental changes, those tiny incremental changes, if you look at my past, my TEDx I did in 2015,
Mhm.
I was 389 pounds. I didn't say, okay, I'm going to stop everything. I'm going to do this, and I'm never going to eat sweets again. I'm going to run 10 miles. I didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
The first morning I said, I'm going to drink my coffee with 1 pack of sugar
Yeah.
instead of 4.
Yeah.
And then I went, okay, I'm going to drink a gallon of water throughout the day. I'm just going to force myself to drink water. I mean, so every day I added something new to what I was doing. And then as time went on, I went from walking half a mile to walking a mile to walking 2 miles to walking. And so I just kept expanding
Incremental changes.
so far that I didn't even realize that I had dropped 200 pounds.
Wow.
I didn't.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I was still wearing, size 18 and 20 clothes. And my husband said, you might want to buy new clothes. And I said, why? I have a belt. And he went, you know, those don't fit you anymore. But it was so incremental that I didn't even realize the change happened. And
Yeah.
that's what's amazing about real change, is that it's not so drastic that you feel like you're ripping a Band-Aid off and it hurts.
Right.
So incremental, you don't even realize that you're making the changes. And that's what Russ and I are talking about. Every day, do one small thing to make the world around you a better place. Start with you. Smile at
Beautifully
you.
said.
Yeah. Look in the mirror and smile at yourself every morning and do. I'm going to have a really good day.
Today is an amazing day, and I have all the gratitude in the world for everything that I have and the friends and the family that surround me. And it's like, it's simple. When you think about the things you're grateful for, and you imagine that you can continue to be grateful for, some of the things that you would stress about kind of roll off and fall off the edge. And it's like, is it going to matter a year from now? Is it going to matter 6 months from now? And if the answer is no, then why are you worrying about it right now? It's like, let's not worry.
You've heard that quote. You don't fear the unknown. You fear what you think you know of the unknown. Let it go. Because our minds are such creative things that our minds will create the worst case scenario and make it like Steven Spielberg incredible, Jurassic Park incredible. And then it comes to it, it's like, a Pee Wee Herman film, it goes when it really happens. So it's like, don't let your brain play tricks on you. Start it off, like Russ said, look in the mirror, smile at yourself, and feel gratitude for things. And then give yourself one compliment, and every day build on that compliment. I know that was a big thing for me, was I never saw anything worthy in me. And so I would look in the mirror and beat myself up. It's kind of hard to start your day positive when you look in the mirror and beat yourself up. So I encourage you, do gratitude, look at yourself, and then be grateful for whatever you see. Waking up, good skin. I don't care what it is. An amazing beard. So those of you who are watching, you know what I'm talking about. If you're on Anchor and you're just listening, you need to go look at the video, because Russ has an amazing beard. All of you quarantine people, we're all shooting for that beard. Not many of you actually made it to that.
And it's fun and it's exciting, and we're living in a time where we can actually be grateful for so many things. It's just like you mentioned. Okay, you can create a podcast on Anchor. It takes almost nothing to start sharing your message. And if 10 people decided, hey, I just want to share a little story about my family or my friends, or something encouraging. It's like, imagine how many people could be impacted by that. It's like, okay, well, and they say, well, I don't have a lot of listeners. Well, it's like, how many listeners do you need to make a difference?
One.
It's like, you only need one. It's like, make a difference in somebody's life. It's like going back to what we originally said. If you're only looking at the numbers, you're not really thinking about the right purpose. You're doing it because you love it. You're doing it because you want to encourage others around you. And you're doing it because, like you said, bring a little bit of happiness to others and teach them to see a different outcome. That's what life's about.
And it's so simple, but we make it so complicated.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who just caught the end of this and you're like, who's Michelle talking to today? I am talking to Russ Johns with an S. If you want to learn more about him, go to www.russjohns.com and look up, or go to LinkedIn and do a hashtag for The Pirate Broadcast. He is the host and creator of the Pirate Syndicate, and he's my friend. He is an awesome person to be around, and he has the most amazing guests come on his podcast, and I'm so blessed to be one of them. He and I have had many, many conversations about all sorts of things around the world, because we both speak our mind and both like to smile. So we're pretty cool people together. And I wanted to ask you, Russ, what last thought would you like to leave with the audience? Because you're a man of very well chosen words. I mean, you're very articulate and you have deep thoughts. And I want to know what just ran through your head when I said that.
Well, every time I hear the term deep thoughts, I think of Jack Handy.
I know.
However, I the thing that I would really love to leave with the community here is that know that you have a gift. Know that you have the opportunity to share those gifts, and somebody in the world is waiting to hear your message and hear your inspiration. And just telling your story, good or bad, can make a difference and allow people not to feel like they're alone, and there is somebody out there that could be helped, inspired, and motivated to do something positive today.
Yes. And if you'd like to share a message, do us a favor. When you watch our podcast or you're on the link and you're listening, you're chatting with everybody else, share it. And we've talked about this before. When you think, wow, that is a powerful message. If you think it's a powerful message, someone else needs to hear it. Share it in your group so that you can help expand this reach of positivity, and that kindness is cool and that smiles are free, because the world needs a little bit more love and needs to know that it comes from all of us, not from one particular point. So,
Thank you, Michelle.
no, thank you for being in my world. I could talk to you forever though. So I just want to FYI that. And I will continually stock the Pirate broadcast because I just love the people you bring on, and I will continually share because that message needs to be, our stories need to be shared.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your time and for being the man you are and the human that you are. And everyone out there, if you're listening and you hear this message and you know that someone in your world needs to know it, like, share, subscribe, push it out, because someone is waiting to hear this and they just haven't found us yet. So have a great day, everyone. Be the best versions of you. And until next time, be you.